Welcome. My name is Kaylee Elise, and I'm here with Abigail.
Hi, everyone.
Most of you already know me, but just a quick recap. My name is Kaylee. I specialize in a lot of different things, but what I love doing is helping beautiful souls find limiting beliefs and cut through them so that they can become unstoppable, creating whatever life that you want to in this life. So really like a lot of limitations that we have are ones that we put on ourselves or society have put on us. So what's amazing is that we can break through them and become the ultimate creator of a reality. So that's a little bit what I do. And Abigail, what do you do?
Hi, my name's Abigail, and a lot of what I do involves nature. So there's always animals around me. I'm listening to every wisdom that I can from different aspects of nature. And what I'm most passionate about is helping to facilitate space that promotes mental wellness and that helps people feel safe to feel however they're feeling, however they
Mm.
show up. Life is a lot sometimes, and I feel it's really important that we get to experience life and be able to express how we need to so that we can just come back to our heart and be in our moment.
I love that. Awesome. Thank you. Well, Abigail and I are here today because we are here to talk about this amazing program that we both pretty much channeled and came together and knew that we were meant to put this amazing program in the world. And it's all around grief, and it's called Good Grief. What I've noticed in our society is we're really taught to kind of like bypass grief, and it's really not normalized, even though it's one of like the most normal things that we go through as humans. And so, what me and Abigail want to do is help everyone kind of reimagine grief so that you feel supported, you feel powerful and confident to get through the heavy emotions because this is all part of life. And we're here to experience the polarity of life. And we want to help you get tools so that you can feel confident getting through challenges of life with ease and feeling even more powerful on the other side of that. Did you want to add a little bit more to that,
Yes,
Abigail?
absolutely. Everyone experiences grief at
Mhm.
some point in their life or all throughout their life in different ways. And so this program is really for everyone. It's not for someone that just had a family member die. It's for someone that just moved and
Mm.
uprooted their entire self away from their community, or it's where someone that just had something else happen with their body that they went through a loss that they didn't even um, have, like they're grieving something that was even unhad. So it can be a process of just experiencing grief in different ways, but this program is really for everyone. I was speaking to a client yesterday and she was mentioning how she had moved away, she missed her community. And so I told her about my program and she said, "Oh, I have to think about who may be grieving." And I'm like, "Well, I'm talking to you. You're just talking about the grieving your community." So there's just different ways to grieve and
Mhm.
different things that bring up grief. But you're right, it's a natural part of life. And a lot of times it can be something that we feel we need to keep to ourselves or do alone. And so the purpose of this is just to remind you that you're not alone, that you have support, and that by calling on support, it can be a lot more helpful in your process.
I love that. And yeah, Abigail and I had a conversation recently about how when we kind of look at what helped us get through our grief portals and helping us go through our grief portals is support. And so we realized that's like the most important thing is to feel supported and also to accept support because a lot of us don't even accept the support we're given. And we want to help you normalize that because it just helps so much to feel supported, to feel held. And as humans, we're social creatures, and that's what we need is just to not feel alone. And that's what we want to help you with during this. Do you want to go over kind of the themes that we're gonna be going through in Good Grief?
Absolutely. So we're going to be meeting together once a week every Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. PST. And we're going to go through the 6 major stages of grief, which are not linear, which you can experience at any time through your grieving process. These are from a Swiss American psych doctor, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And then the 6th step was added on by Mr. David Kessler, who was a death and grief support specialist. So the first one is denial, I associate this with the root and the sacral. The second one is anger, which I associate with the navel or the belly. The third is bargaining, which I associate with the heart. The fourth is depression, which I associate with the throat. The fifth is acceptance, which I associate with the third eye. And then the sixth is meaning, which I associate with the crown. So yeah, we're going to be going through a whole month of really diving into that topic and navigating everything that comes up around that specific theme.
I love that.
Of all of these different stages, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, meaning, what was the hardest for you to navigate during your most recent or even past grief situations?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been through two big grief things, portals recently. I lost my mom over a year ago, and then I went through an abortion, which was a really hard thing I went through as well. And I think the hardest one for me is actually the depression. So actually like getting into the deepness of the grief and allowing myself to be that in that heavy energy, because depression is heavy. It's like depression, sadness. It feels heavy. It feels like a storm is all around me. And for a lot of us, it's really hard to just surrender to that. So challenging myself to surrender to that was probably the most difficult, but also the most rewarding, because usually when I let myself cry and go into that deep depression and surrender to it, I usually come out on the other end like laughing and feeling good. And it just feels so good to process that. But definitely, I think initially the heaviness of the depression is pretty hard. It's pretty hard just to stay like, okay, like the Titanic, all right, bring this depression and like let it move through me, and being able to surrender to that. But I definitely will say it's the hardest. It was the hardest for me, but also the most like, whoa, like I know I can, if I can experience this deepness of the darkness, then I know I can experience this deepness of joy as well. It's like opening up the polarity. We can only experience like the polarity that we let ourselves surrender to. So the more we surrender to the darkness, the more we can experience the light, which I think is really beautiful. And that's kind of what we're doing in this program, is helping you find the light in the darkness, because that's, we all have light and we just need to find it in the darkness. And that's what we want to help you do during this program. What about you, Abigail? What was your hardest stage?
Thank you. My hardest stage was anger. I have been depressed in past in my life. So for me, it almost feels comfortable to be depressed. But I've had trouble accessing anger up until probably a couple years ago when I got pregnant. My hormones shifted. So for me, my mom recently passed this past October, and I was finding myself getting very angry with people in the living world that maybe weren't talking to me or communicating to me or acknowledging me how I felt like I should be treated. And so, yeah, it brought up a lot of anger, and I felt like I needed somewhere to direct that. But I also, at the same time, was so sad that I didn't feel like I wanted to. So I just kind of at some point felt like it, like almost like a ticking time bomb, where I was just like really like anxious, like angst. But luckily, anger was a gift because it made me realize like I needed to look at myself and do something about it to shift it so that it wouldn't completely ruin and affect all of the good relationships that I had cultivated for so long. So the anger is actually what helped move me to seek help and to ask for help. And that's when I got like at the peak of my anger, I felt like I was going to like run away from everything, is when I realized like I don't need to run away. I actually need to ask for help and lean on the people that are in my life that can help me. So that was a big shift for me, like letting myself be angry, but also doing something with that anger so that I could redirect and reshift and transform it into something that was going to be more healing for me and more productive for my journey.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. And that's what we can do with energy. It's like we can transmute that energy. And that's what's so beautiful. And the practices that Abigail and I are going to be providing in this are really going to help you to support you in transmuting and alchemizing that energy into energy that actually serves you. So
Yeah.
I love that piece. It's like all about, alchemizing the energy because it's going to be there anyways.
Yeah.
Um, I want to kind of go into meaning because this was kind of something that was added not too long ago to the stages of grief, but I feel like it really sparks something within me when, when you add that to the stages of like finding meaning. And I really feel like that's like the lights, like finding that light in the darkness. Like, what is the meaning behind going through this heavy experience? One of the things that stood out when I think about like my mom's when my mom passed away, like she left a journal, and in the journal is like from when she was a teenager, and she basically said that she didn't love herself, and she passed away with that same belief. And like that really broke my heart because I know a lot of people in our society just like don't love ourselves because there's so many other factors, our society, our caregivers, whatever happens to us. And a lot of us just grow up like not loving ourselves. And I think that's just so sad because I definitely felt that way a lot of my life until going through this healing journey and like going through this self-love journey. But I think that's such a big stage. And for me, that sparks so much meaning. Like my mom felt like this and she passed away like this. And I don't want other people going through the same experience as her, like not loving yourself, the mental leading to the physical, and then passing away. That's what happened to my mom. And I just really feel like my meaning is to support other people and finding that self-love within themselves so that they can create the life that truly resonates and feels good to them, because we all have the access to that and we all can do that. It's just matter of figuring out how we do it and getting that support. So I think that was like what a big thing for me, and to really support people going through dark, heavy emotions, because I also experienced an abortion this year, which was such a big experience for me. And like finding the meaning is seeing the bigger purpose. It's like zooming out, like you said, it's like the crown chakra, like zooming out of the picture and seeing the bigger picture. And like for my abortion, I was like, why is this happening to me right now? I'm 32, I just got married, like the universe knows I don't want kids, like I don't understand why this is happening. And I went through this whole thing and I was able to see the bigger picture of like 1 in 3 women go through this, probably even more. And it's like a normal thing and it's looked at as shameful, and people don't feel comfortable sharing their experiences and healing from it. And I'm like, I have a voice, I have all these tools, like I know I went through this, support other people that can. So these are just examples of like how you can find meaning out of like heavy experiences, and like seeing the bigger purpose of why you are going through this, because there's always a bigger purpose. That's a little bit what happened with me. What about you, Abigail? Anything like that sparks for you with meaning?
Uh, Death,
Yeah.
hard transitions in life, they crack you wide open.
Yes.
So yes, they crack you open and they force you to look at yourself. They force you
Mm.
to like review everything that you had in relationship to that person or that place or that situation or your body or whatever. And we can be very harsh on ourselves for sure. We were kind of conditioned to be a little bit harsh on ourselves, and it's not to our benefit for sure. It's definitely not. So, absolutely, the meaning of anything that you go through that is hard is preparing you to be more compassionate. It's preparing you to find your softness, to not harden from the hard things that happen, but to remain open hearted, for yourself and for others. So, absolutely, if you say, like, I want to become a healer, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff thrown at you that you need to heal through so that you learn. You're going to be in the darkness and in the shadow aspects for a long time so that you learn how to pull yourself out from that space and that abyss.
Yeah.
So the meaning for me is, yes, I want I want anyone and everyone to have access to easy tools they can do on their own, that they can do with their own breath, with their own body, with their own intention, with their own magic. Um, and use those things throughout their life so that every time they come across something that is hard, they feel supported. They feel supported by all these tools that they have gathered and they don't feel stuck. They don't feel like they need to hide, but they can go back to that opening of the heart. Because when your heart is being broken by grief, by death, whatever that is, it's actually an opportunity to crack open, to
Mhm.
expand, to feel this more limitless and boundless sense of love vibration. That is where we're from. This is where we return to. So, yeah, so
Mm,
much meaning in just coming back to the heart again and again.
I love that. Yeah. And the quote that we share too, like in our sales page, and I love that quote. It's like talking about how grief is really just love, that's why it's so intense and that's why it feels so heavy. It's like love, the most powerful emotion. So no wonder it's heavy. And we just need to learn how to reimagine it and transmute it in a way that serves us and creates more light in our life.
Yeah, normalize it. It's so
Yes.
normal. Everyone
Yes.
experiences it. So, and instead of being a society that is tiptoeing around the topic or not knowing what to say because they don't want to say the wrong thing, like, let's talk about it more and more. Let's make it
Mm,
something that is easy to talk about because we're that compassionate, that you can be
mm,
at any stage of your grief and we can talk and we can be and hold space for you in that way, because wherever you're at is okay and it's just part of the process. Again, grief is not linear.
mhm.
And if you've experienced grief a long time ago, sometimes you can even feel it like the present moment, say on the anniversary of the death. So you can go a whole year and then be like, why, what's going on with my body? What's wrong? Oh yeah, that's right. This is the death anniversary of so and so.
Totally.
So even though lots of time can pass by, it can still be very present in our body and in our psyche. So why not get comfortable with it? Why not make friends with it? Why not embrace it, lean into it?
Yes, I love that. And you're hearing from a Scorpio and Pisces over here that love darkness and all about that rebirth, death and rebirth portal. So yes, I love all that juiciness.
Same here. I have a pin that says chit chat survivor. Like, I don't want to chit chat with you. I don't want to talk about the weather.
Deep.
I want to know what's in your heart. I
Yeah.
want to know what's weighing on your soul. Let's get
Yep.
deep. Let's get
Yeah.
real with each other.
Totally. Same. Let's dive right into the deep end.
Yes. So let's discuss what we're going to do
Yeah.
each week, because we're
Yeah.
breaking it down into 4 weeks throughout the month.
Definitely. So it's definitely recommended. Like we meet every single week on Fridays for 6 months, and it's recommended to come to the first and fourth week because that's going to be really like our circle, our time to just like connect and share stories and do journal prompts and heal together. And the middle weeks, the second and third, will be an energy upkeep class for me, and then a channeled Kundalini session from Abigail, which is really cool because this is all stuff she's channeling and bringing into the physical realm, which is really nice and authentic. And you wouldn't be getting a lot of these practices anywhere else, which is really beautiful. And we're going to be really supporting you and helping you get tools. So, my energy upkeep class, we're going to be doing breath work, we'll be doing mantra and something called EFT, emotional freedom tapping or technique, which is a tapping technique, which is so juicy and so amazing. And it helps transmute energy really fast. And then the other two sessions are like the first of the month, we're going to go deep in what the theme is. So, going through the stages, have journal prompts for you. We're also going to be having like a Telegram chat on the side so that we can keep communicating and asking for support and receiving support through that channel as well. So there's going to be a lot of support throughout the whole entire process. And we just want to create a community that we can grow together with and feel comfortable and safe and heard and just develop more self-love within and acceptance and just grow together. It's going to be so amazing. Is there anything
Yes,
else you want to add to that?
absolutely. Everything's going to be recorded. So if you
Yes.
are traveling or you have to miss a week, you'll have access to it and it will be recorded in a portal for life. So you will get
Mhm.
to access this live with us. And 2 years from now, when you decide to move across states or when a relationship ends. So it's something that you can revisit again and again to help support your path and just your earth journey. And also, there's going to be some fun, like special things as well. Like I'm working on a list of herbs that we're going to start working with to help with grief. and just how the different structures of the stages align to the different structures of our major chakras and how this kind of connects on a spiritual realm. So we're going to get juicy. I just want to also um, kind of like highlight, like, this is not a grief chat or a grief group. I've been to a couple where you just go and it's like a grief support group where you go and talk and you cry together. Like, this is a very different thing. This is has structure to it. So yes, we're going to have connection and we're going to have time to speak about why we're a part of the group, about why we're there, but we're not going to just focus on talking and sharing. That's going to be a very important piece of it. We're going to focus on, okay, now what do we do with this energy? And here are all these tools and like grief work that you can do on your own throughout the month as well to help support and help guide you into transmuting this energy and really finding the light within it. So not just talking, but just moving a lot of intention. And yeah, just going deep into it.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just the mental. We're going with every, we're doing the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, the physical body. And so we're really going to support you on all sides of it. So I think that's really beautiful. And also, I'll be bringing in a little bit of spiral, which is a modality to support us in neutralizing, and we can ask questions and neutralize our relationship to grief. Like, what is around there? Like, what is around that relationship to grief that is causing more like hardship or whatever, and help clear that to create neutrality around it so that we can just be more open to going through these heavy portals and stuff like that. So a lot of juicy tools. Both Abigail and I have a lot of fun tools with us. So it'll be a lot of fun to dive deep into all of that.
And let's just speak on the word portal.
Yes.
Portal is an opening.
Yes.
Portal is a door. Portal is like an opportunity. You are on one side of the portal and there is limitless, infinite possibilities on the other. So when you look at death and grief as a portal, instead of something that has happened to me to harm me, it can be a lot more meaningful and give you more purpose. So this has happened, but this is also a portal for me to rebirth myself, to transform myself, to love myself, to meet myself where I'm at. So yes, it's a portal, it's a door, and it's an invitation for everyone that this is sparking interest in your heart.
Totally.
And then one last thing, I wrote down all of the steps, and I saw I think it's called acronym when it's like it spells a word, right? Acronym.
I think
Yeah.
so.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is dab dam. And then Kaylee was like, well, actually, it's mad dab if you look at it from the bottom.
Mad bad.
Oh,
Mad
mad bad, mad
bad.
bad. So I think that's just so it's so fitting, because for me, when I was like dab damn, that sounded like me like a god damn, like a good thing. Like it was like dab damn, like it just had the same resonance of like and then looking from the bottom up, mad bad. Like there's two ways to look at everything. And we're choosing to look at this as like a like let's get juicy with this. Let's embrace this. Let's love this. Let's help take this hard thing that we're feeling and transform it back into our heart and into a loving space for everything.
I love that. The metamorphosis. Let's all become butterflies.
It's okay if we're in our sticky little cocoon right now. I'm still there myself,
Yes.
honestly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Amazing. So I kind of want to go over just like what you can expect from good grief. Like these are the main things, is to feel fully supported in this healing journey through this death and rebirth portal, and to gain tools to alchemize this energy in easy, accessible ways. And also to feel more supported flowing through the natural ebbs of flows in life. Like we said before, like life is meant to experience, the highs and the lows. And we just need to create that neutrality of like, cool, I'm down here right now. Like, cool, I'm up here. And being able to kind of just like flow with the ebbs and flows, like you said before, while feeling supported and having these easy tools in your tool belt, like so that when any situation comes up in life, you're like, oh, let me just grab this tool. Let me just do this breath work. Let me just do this movement. And then you can feel even powerful after that. And I just think that's really beautiful, because I feel like in life, a lot of people are like, you just need to be happy and you need to focus on the good and it needs to be optimistic. And it's like there's so much bypassing happening, but there's so much magic in the darkness when you just surrender to it. And we just want to help you surrender to the darkness even more to experience even more magic out of this life.
Absolutely. The darkness also, like when we're sleeping, is when our body heals the most.
Mm,
So it might feel like you're breaking into a billion pieces, but in that dark state is where everything regenerates. It's where everything
mm,
rests. So yeah, it's definitely, again, a portal, an opportunity, an invitation to just let yourself go through every stage with non-judgment, with compassion, with love, so that when you are ready to open up those wings, you're like fully ready. You don't feel rushed. You feel just in your power, in your heart, and yeah, ready to go.
I love that.
All
That
right.
feels really good. Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything else, but we do have sign up by the end of this month, March, and receive a little bit off the introductory price, as well as we're giving away a couple gifts. You get a guided meditation that I recorded a couple years ago during Scorpio season. It's a death meditation, so you'll hear my voice singing. You'll hear me guiding you through just a little like death guided meditation, and then some singing bowls and some gongs and some sound healing. I think it's about an hour and a half, a little bit over. And then Kaylee also is offering a program as well.
Yeah, it's a masterclass called Soul Aligned Magic, and it has a little bit of Kundalini, a little bit of breath work in there. And basically, it's an amazing tool to support you in aligning to your chakras every day using meridian points. So it's kind of interesting to explain, but it's so much fun. And it's a tool that you can check in with your chakra and your energy centers every single day and help you align and clear out and transmute any energy that may be causing resistance or blocks or anything like that. So it's really fun. So I'm excited for y'all to try that.
I love that. Also, you brought up the word resistance. I just want to put this out there. This is a very intimate group that, we're inviting you all with us to take this journey of 6 months. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So just the time period alone, maybe that brings up resistance. Plus the topic, it's a very heavy topic. Maybe that brings up resistance, the fear of being seen or like really connecting on such a deep level. So just to acknowledge that you may not have a full body yes for this. You may feel a little apprehension, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everything in life is going to be a full body yes, and that doesn't mean that you don't need to do it. It just means that you need to check in with like a deeper soul level. Is this going to be the best and most beneficial thing for me, for my health, for my mental wellness, for my growth? So maybe just do a little muscle test.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
find your
have
yes,
a
find your no.
pendulum.
Yeah, or
Pendulum.
use a pendulum. When you muscle test like this, it's super simple. The fingers stay together and you find your yes. Like show me my yes,
Show
show
me
me
your
my no. The fingers snap off. And you maybe practice this over and over a little bit to get like a relationship with your muscles. But then just is taking this program in the best interest of my overall healing and wellness? Yes or
yeah.
no?
Yeah.
And just like see, because sometimes our head can get too much in it. We're like, well, I don't know, this. But you really want your soul to be guiding you through this life. And that means sometimes you make decisions and you take the dive and you decide to do something that might feel a little bit scary, but that's going to be really helpful for your development and for your harmony of your overall experience on earth.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. And like how it just feels so good to push past resistance and then get on the other side and you're like, I did that. Like I pushed past that resistance. And what's really cool is when you sign up for this program, I actually created an EFT tapping to tap against resistance. So any resistance you're feeling throughout the whole course, if it's coming to class, if it's doing the assignments, you'll have this practice, this tool that you can just go with and copy with me to break some of that resistance and make it feel easier to do what you feel resistant doing. So that's a little fun tool that will be added for you all. I'm
Thank
excited.
you for doing that. That's so sweet. And thank
Yeah.
you for asking me to do this. I'm trying to remember, like, did we ask each other? Did one of us ask? I don't even remember.
Good grief.
Yeah.
I had a feeling when I went to visit you in Montana that we were going to put together something. Like, I was like, I'm going to Montana. I know that we're going to create something together. And I was at your house and you're like, I just got to download. We need to do something together. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got the message too. So
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Because I was like, we've been talking about it for so long that I
Yeah.
kind of forgot, like, where did it initiate? But
Both of
yes,
us got
there's just a
downloads.
feeling of like,
Mhm.
we're supposed to do something together. And for me, my yes, my full body yes, when I'm like, oh yes, I'm going to do that. It's, do I feel safe around this person?
Mm,
I only work with other people if I feel completely safe and my nervous system is relaxed around them.
mhm,
And when I don't listen to that, things never go right. So I've
mhm.
always felt very relaxed and just comfortable around you, like from the moment that we met. So it
Thank
feels very
you.
natural to be collaborating with you and holding space with you. And also, you have helped me so much through the past 4 months with my recent experience with my mom dying that I'm so grateful, but also so excited for you to help other people as well. And I can't wait to take your classes during the next 6 months.
Same, me to you. I'm like geeking out. Just a little background, Abigail is my Reiki mentor, and 3 years ago we got together when I went through Reiki level 1 with her, and that was right before COVID. So that was a blessing because if I didn't have Reiki and initiated, I don't even know what COVID would have been like. That was such an amazing, important tool for me to get through the first year, couple months of COVID, and like the support that we had from our Reiki team. So, like, yeah, there's just so many things that I'm just like geeking out about. I'm working with Abigail, like, she's been my mentor, and now we're doing this amazing thing together. So, there's a lot of things coming full circle that just feel so aligned, and it's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Thank you. I feel geeked out as well because from the, like, I channel and I get told by my guides and by spirit, like, do this, do this, do this. And it doesn't often make sense till sometimes years down the line. But I was told to do my training. I was told to do different works with plant medicines, this and that. And back in 2015, I was told that I would be going through a big, like, what do they call it? Night of the shadow or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No, I forgot. Dark
I
side
forget the
of the
term, but
moon.
it's like dark night of the dark
Yeah.
night of the soul.
Yeah.
It's like you're in your dark night of the soul, 2015. It's going to be a while. Get comfortable there. However, you're going through this extreme like depression and this hard time in your life because you're going to help facilitate and help others get through theirs. And I was
Mm,
also told that, and I was given specific names. It was like very detailed, but it was, you were going to hold space for others that are going to far surpass what you can even imagine or do yourself. So when I
mm,
started the Reiki trainings, I was excited to see who would come and who would be magnetized towards me because I knew like they are going to actually help me in the future when I need it. Like I am a servant to far greater like energy and healers that are going to help the entire planet and the entire world. So I am humbled and I'm so grateful that you have done the work yourself and you've gone through this huge transformation and now you've been such a huge support to me. Thank you. Thank you for
mm.
doing your work.
Yay, of course you too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. I'm just so excited. I'm excited to see who we're gonna magnetize into this group.
We are loving you so
Yes.
much. And by I love you and by we love you, I
Mm,
mean, we know you're out there. We see where you're at, wherever that is, and we accept that. And we're excited to invite you into this womb type experience and space of just loving on wherever you're at and helping you get through everything. So,
amazing.
yeah, thank you for hearing the invitation. And we look forward to your yes.
Yes, definitely. So if you want to ask questions, you can DM either of us. I'm going to have information in the show notes down below, and it's going to have the sales page for Good Grief so that you can look at more information as to what this program is entailing. And you can ask us questions if you have questions and sign up by the end of the month to get early bird pricing. And We start April 7th, so coming soon.
which is the day before my mom's birthday.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
So perfect.
So it's perfect.
Yeah,
I know
beautiful.
she's proud of me and would want me have to do something like this. So yeah,
Mhm.
everything is perfectly aligned. I feel very grateful and just blessed to be of service to y'all and to hold space for this community. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, taking some time, and we look forward to hearing from you and getting in community with you.
Yes. All right. Love you so much.
Sending so much love. Bye.
Bye.